All right, with that, we thought it was gonna be worse, but it didn't at the end. They're trying to not get along together, but somehow we get along now. This is so strange. Um, we going into what the fuck with that belt? Look, it's a beautiful belt. It's massive, well
Is it?
deserved.
Is it?
Oh, I like. It's a lot of gold. It's big. Like it's a crown jewel. Like it's a crown jewel. Like Saudi Arabia belt. Like it's well placed for a place where it's gonna be, which is fair enough. Now, problem that I have with the title is done in a crown jewel. That's my biggest problem. Look, I've said it for many times. Fuck, who's the best of the best? That's a great thing to do because also it's the champion of that year. Like it's not like he's gonna defend that title again. It's just the champion of the year, which is fair enough. It's cut off. Like you're the champion of Crown Jewel 2024. You're the best of the best from the moment that you were champion at that point of the year, which is that one-off match kind of stuff, which is awesome. I like the idea. It just I would have loved it in anywhere else background you.
Um, I disagree with you, man.
There we go.
Um,
Finally. Oh my god.
yeah, I do. I disagree with you. Look, here's the thing, right? We all know Crown Jewel. We all know that they fork out a lot of money to have this event. So, and traditionally, it hasn't involved storylines continuing. It's just been like the
Oh,
major
it did
stars
last
going
year.
over there. Well, yeah, but
We to come into SummerSlam, which was the
yeah,
King of the Ring.
generally, yeah, but I mean, it doesn't have like a massive impact on
No, in
storylines.
general, no.
But so what they have to do is they have to give it some type of meaning. I
Yep.
get that. I understand that. Like I said, they fork out big money. They expect big shows, and they get big shows. But this title, to me, it doesn't make sense. It's ridiculous. And like I heard what you just said, but let me tell you this. Let me tell you this, brother. Let me tell you something, brother. Um, what if the week before Crown? You said it's the champion of the year, right? The,
Yeah.
the two champions go together. That's the Crown Jewel champion. That's the champion for that year. What if the week before Crown Jewel, okay, on Raw or on SmackDown, that the WWE champion or the World Heavyweight champion lose that title to a new person, then that person goes to Crown Jewel. That person's been champion for a week. So you're telling me if he wins that Crown Jewel belt, he's going to be the champion for the year? And what about the champions that were throughout the year? What about Damian Priest? You know, what about Roman Reigns?
Yeah. But
Like,
that's what I'm saying. It's the one-off champion. Like you wear the
but
crown,
it doesn't. But
you
it
beat the
doesn't make
champion
any
at the
sense.
time. The champion, it was champion against champion.
But
That's it.
yeah, but and what's the point? The only thing that does, the only effect that has, is to lessen
The belts.
one champion's
Yeah.
reputation.
That's
That's
hundred
all it
percent. I agree
does.
with that. I agree with that. I agree with
It
that. It
doesn't
does.
enhance. It doesn't enhance the other ones because he's already a champion. It does. It impacts the reputation and the story and the character of the champion that loses. That's all it does.
Yeah, I'll agree. I agree. Probably should it be something else. Look, they should have kept it probably at King of the Ring.
But why? There shouldn't be a belt.
No, it
There
shouldn't be
used to be a
probably. Yeah,
unit. There used to be a unified belt, and they split it. So why are they going back to unify it while still maintaining it split? It's having an each way bet.
it's
You
just
know,
not
it's having
unifying
your
either.
cake
It's
and
just
eat
a
it too.
one-off
Huh?
opportunity. It's just like who's the champion. That's it.
But why do you have to have a belt? Why do the two champions should never fight? The two champions should never have a match. Never. They should remain separate. That's what I think, anyway.
Well, that's when they
Otherwise, you're
unify the
going back to
titles.
what? Huh?
Well, they done it when they unify the titles.
Yeah. And then what did they do? They split the titles again. So why
Yeah,
are they going back and then still splitting them?
but that's what I get your point. I understand that, but also it doesn't carry on. That's the thing.
So
That's what
what is it then? It's meaningless. It's like dancing with your sister.
it's crown jewel. It's meaningless already.
Exactly. That's my
but
point.
that is
So
perfect.
all you're doing is damaging the hard work of and the reputation of that champion, of that character.
But
That's all
that's
you're
the
doing.
thing. Has done that before?
But they've never done it before.
No. Has that like whatever happened at Crown Jewel has affect anything going further?
No, but it's
They
never
did it
been
with
champion versus
Goldberg.
champion.
It was stupid with Goldberg when Goldberg won the
Don't even get
title.
me started on him. Don't even get me started on him and his
When
appearance at Raw,
look
please.
when Goldberg like took the title off the Fiend of Bray Wyatt, that was absolutely horrible, stupid. Um, it should have any major implications of what's happening. That's what I'm saying. It's just a one-off event. Like that's what like look the way they targeted. I think is correct. It's the one off. Like you won, you won. That's it. Like just it's nothing else gonna happen. Like it's not like you gotta defend the championship next year. You're gonna come back again next year. You'll be showing that title again. It's not. It's just the one off. You won the crown jewel title. You beat the other champion. That's it. Finish off. Continue on. Story. Forgets about it. Like crown jewel always happened. People forget
What
about
they
crown jewel.
should do, what they should do, and it would make sense because the event is called Crown Jewel
Mm-hmm.
Crown. Who wears a crown? A king or a queen? Why don't you have
Yeah,
Queen and King of the Ring at Crown Jewel?
that's what I said. They should have kept it that, but that's the thing. King of the Ring, King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring was before SummerSlam. So this is the second crown jewel before, like it's the second
Yeah.
time. Like why they having two crown jewels? Why just one?
Money.
But that's what I'm saying.
Money.
That's money, and
Here comes the money.
this repercussion from freaking Vince. Vince the one
Mm,
that got this deal off, and now they can't get
mm.
off it. And
Oh,
then
it makes a lot of money for them.
oh,
So that's why they
100%.
have to give it some semblance of credibility. But
But that was
like
perfect with
for
it. But that's what I'm saying. That was perfect with the King of the Ring. But the thing is,
yeah,
like, you can't do it now because then you have to wait to SummerSlam the following year.
yeah.
So it makes no sense. So yeah, you have to give it something. The title again,
Because
probably
King of the Ring was King of the Ring in Riyadh.
yeah, that was what the
Yeah.
final.
Okay. There you go.
That's what the
Yeah.
final was. So it was a
Mm.
series of finishes, and then the final was there.
Or
And
Abu
that's what
Dhabi. Was it
Gunta,
Abu Dhabi or Riyadh? I can't remember.
can't remember. But
Yeah.
that's
I think it
when
might be Abu Dhabi.
Gunta won it, and you
Yeah.
had the chance at SummerSlam.
Mm.
So that was
So now we're getting Gunter versus Cody Rhodes.
now we're getting
And you'd
Gunta against
assume,
Cody Rhodes.
and look, I wouldn't be surprised if Gunter wins.
Yeah, if he wins, a win. It's the thing is like, yeah, I get the point, and that's the one thing I was wrestling with.
Mm.
The fact is, it might affect one of both characters, but once again, is the way they're gonna win it. Like you don't know, KO can get involved, fuck Cody Rhodes up, and goddamn, Gunter wins it. You know,
Yeah, that makes that's starting
you
to
know,
make sense. Like
you know.
they're
It
starting
doesn't
to
need to
make
be a
sense.
clean win. Why a
Mm.
crown jewel gonna have a clean win? That's the beauty of having a heel and a face. You know,
Yeah, look,
you
that makes. I might have been a bit quick in my disdain.
No, but I understand what you're going about, and yeah, 100% makes
Mm.
sense because you can't hurt one of the wrestlers, but it's going back to the advantage of having a heel and a face going against each other. Is the fact that
Mm.
one of them can cheat, one of them can do something to affect the other, and
Yeah, that's a valid point.
we got a fresh Cody Rhodes and KO feud. KO can appear at Crown Jewel, fuck Cody Rhodes up, you know. We got Gunter, he can, do something which is he's a heelish kind of stuff. He's heel, but he hasn't done any heels, being clean, very clean at the moment. Um, so yeah, I'll look.
What
I
about
can I can see Cody Rhodes coming in and getting fucked by KO, and Gunter
what
gets
about
to
this?
win.
This just came to me. Like we've talked enough about the men's title. What if Tiffany cashes in at Crown Jewel
There you go,
after Liv beats Nia?
man. Perfect. You see, like it's just the way they can sort it out. It's just
Yeah, I'll
I'm
get you
pretty
now.
sure.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
yeah.
sure Hunter is like, okay, we gotta do something that doesn't affect the champions.
Mm.
What is the way you're gonna affect the champion? You can catch the title, you can
He'll
win
he'll win.
a heel
He'll
win,
win.
which
Mm.
is a perfect. So what
Mm.
about every single time at Crown Jewel? It's a heel win every single time. It's a fresh few happening, something happened
Mm.
at Crown Jewel. What about if it's a disqualification? Both of them get disqualified, no one wins.
Mm.
Well, we don't know. It could happen, What about if it counts
Yeah.
out to 10 with both of them at outside? You know, there's no champion this year. Wow, fuck, that'll be something different. There's no champion this year. You know,
Yeah, that's a fair point.
it's a
Yeah.
lot of things could happen. That's just the thing. Sometimes we get I get your point, but yeah, I think that could be crown jewel. Like my only thing was, I wanted that to be happening somewhere else, like that shot for that title in another event than freaking crown jewel.
Yeah.
But because it has repercussions, but these repercussions can be managed by feuds that be just starting, like we said, just KO and Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
Gunta is a heel, so it's a lot of things can happen in between,
Yeah. True.
So the catching of the title, like it could be that Tiffy actually screws, Nia Jax, and
Yeah.
and actually finally that's a turn into Nia Jax, so Nia Jax has to watch her back because you don't know
Mm.
when she's gonna catch in the title. Liv Morgan is a heel, so
Yeah.
she could
Massive
have
heel.
she can have Raquel Rodriguez coming in,
Mm.
and Tiffany pretending to helping Nia Jax, and literally
Yeah.
just the other way around. helps Liv
Yeah.
Morgan to win. Yeah,
Yeah.
Liv Morgan is like a cerebral assassin. You know, she's the
Mm-hmm.
architect. You know,
Yes.
she doesn't win with power. She knows it. She knows the
Work
strongest.
smarter, not harder.
Exactly. She
Yeah.
knows she's not the biggest. She knows the strongest. She's not the.
Mm.
She might be the quickest, but she's the
Mm.
smartest man. She's smart,
Yeah.
smart,
Agreed.
smart, smart,
Agreed.
smart.
Agreed.
So there's a lot of things can happen in Crown Jewel to make the championship.
Mm.
Okay, wow, we got the champion, but how did the championship won? And also gives the bragging rights because like, oh, defeat you, but yeah, look at the way you defeat me. You cheat.
Yeah. Exactly.
You got
Yeah. No,
hurt.
that's a fair point.
You
That's a
know.
fair point.
So it could a lot of things could happen, and I hope it continues. If it's that, because we know this gonna be every single year is gonna be the same. I hope this goes that way every single time. Like
Mm.
it just something happens, something's
Something happens.
unpredictable,
Yeah. Yeah. It
and
can't be a
it's
clean victory. It
no, I
can't. It
cannot.
just doesn't make
So
any
why?
sense.
Because a clean victory will hurt everyone.
Yeah.
You can't have
Exactly.
anyone getting hurt, and the only one you can get hurt is by something unpredictable happening. You know,
Mm.
that's all I say. We can't even have one year there's no champion. You know,
No.
10 out of 10. You know, both of them got disqualified, and then there's no champion this year. Title is vacant. Why not? Like, there's nothing wrong with that.
Mm.
You know, a title that's no meaning doesn't need to have a
Yeah.
champion every year.
Yeah.
You know,
True.
so fuck, we agree, bro. That's not good. We went for like no to like agree. I don't like this. But anyways, but that's a crown jewel title, and we see what's gonna happen. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully it's not a clean win by anyone.
Mm.
To keep the characters intact, and we'll see how it goes. Now, talking about WWE and the things going around, JBL. He's been TNA, GCW, MLW, and AAA. He's been everywhere. He's been with Nick Nemeth. He's been involved
Mm-hmm.
in TNA. He's been involved in GCW. And they've been using his name, JBL and Bradshaw, which both events are owned by Endeavor Promotions. So he's been given the go ahead.
Mm-hmm. It's probably on
Any
a Legends contract still with them.
It's an legend contract as well.
Mm.
And I think he said in our interview, I can't remember what interview it was, he says, I'm just recruiting for Triple H. That's what I'm
Mm.
doing. So, what do you think about what is JBL doing? Apart of
No,
being,
no, you go because I know you got a theory about this, and it links back to the old days. So you go first, and then I'll tell you what I think
yeah,
about your theory once I hear it
thank you,
properly.
thank
Because
you.
you haven't told me, you've kept it under your hat.
Ah, yeah. So they're all gonna say, what did Vince McMahon do back in the day? What did he do?
He raided the territories. He got the best from the best. He got the best of the best, and he made the WWF.
And stop buying everyone else, isn't it?
Mm.
Well, I think Endeavor is doing exactly the same, but in a global scale. They're going with the best of the best of every single country and trying to do exactly the same. We know they got tights with TNA and they just 100% happening, which that means Endeavor is going to take over TNA at some point. That's going to happen 100%. MLW, biggest promotion as well, which I think Endeavor also is trying to get the hands on it. GCW, we know how much this GCW means for a lot of wrestlers. We're talking about wrestlers from AEW being there, TNA, NWA, like all of them being in GCW. And the biggest one for me, it was AAA. That was for me a wow. I think that's what is. And he had conversations with management of AAA. So what I think is Endeavor is doing is literally what Vince used to do, but
TKO,
do
TKO now. Endeavor's TKO.
TKO, sorry, TKO. And instead of doing, you know, instead of trying to buy the wrestlers from other companies, like, how about we buy the company? Fuck it. We buy the company, we earn the company, and then we can move wrestlers around. It's like, you know, who owns Manchester City? He
Yeah.
owns fucking New York City. He owns freaking Melbourne City. And so they're just easy. They just move players around, you know? Whatever they need players, move players around. I think that's what WWE is doing because it's the easiest and fastest way to get into the markets they've been having promised to get into, which has been the Mexican market. How about if we just have team up Endeavor, bring TNA, AAA in, you know, part of a TKO. TKO now has a massive backing. You gotta have UFC, AAA, and WWE in TKO. What better for AAA? You know, it's the best way to go against CMLW. Go to Japan. You won't get New Japan. You won't get New Japan. It's really hard to get New Japan, but you can get the other promotions that are there and have wrestlers going to Japan, which we've seen a lot of wrestlers going to Japan and wrestle from the WWE lately. So that for me, that's what's been happening. That's what JBL has been doing. JBL has just been going into this. I'm gonna show my face, make sure that everyone knows I'm from WWE and I'm here, and then talk to management and start getting this ball rolling because it's not WWE anymore. It's TKO. So TKO owns UFC. TKO owns WWE. It's really tempting for other companies to be part of that deal. You know what? Hey, come in, be part of this group. We want you here. We give you all this. You just gotta be part of us. That's it. We don't own you. You still own yourself, but we are part of this group now. It's the same. UFC doesn't had nothing to do with WWE. WWE doesn't have nothing to do with the UFC, but they appear in each other's show. How many wrestlers from WWE come in UFC matches? Events. They appear everyone there. So I think that's what's happening. That's what JBL's job has been doing.
Well, you just changed the goalpost at the end there because you initially said that TKO would buy these organizations.
Yeah, look.
And then at the end, you just changed it and you said, no, they're not going to buy them, but they'll be part of it.
Yeah,
So,
because like buying is just look, buying and being part of it can be done in 2 seconds when it's TKO. It could be buying or it could be
but,
part of it.
but if they, okay, this is what I think. I think that they're not going to buy them. I don't think they need to buy them.
Mm.
What I think is happening here is some really good cross promotion that works for both sides. Works a lot more for the lesser promotions than it does for WWE, but it still works for WWE
Yeah, 100%.
in the sense that they are if the wrestling business is going good, then WWE goes good because they've got their own developments. They've got NXT, right? But that's very limited. They can't have everybody in NXT. But if you've got your finger in every other pie, if you got your finger in TNA pie, the GCW pie, the MLW pie, the AAA pie, you've got an influence over those promotions, and you say to them, "Hey, we'll give you some of our talent to get eyes on your promotion, but when the top ones from your promotion are hitting that WWE standard, we're going to give them that opportunity, and you need to let them go you need to let them come to us."
Yeah.
Grayson Waller's appearing on a show here in Sydney.
That's
on
what
Saturday.
I forgot to say.
Yeah.
Fucking Grayson Waller's gonna be here in Australia.
Professional
PWA.
Professional Wrestling Australia, the promotion owned by Robbie Eagles. Shout out to Robbie. I know he listens.
Robbie's gonna go and say
Grayson Waller's appearing at Coliseum. Coliseum's their WrestleMania pretty much. That's their
Yeah.
biggest show of the year. It goes over 2 nights. It's sold out. The Metro in Sydney is a sold. It's a theater, holds about 1,000 people. It's sold out.
There. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's a great venue. Great venue. Saw some great bands there. Ended up on stage with Suicidal Tendencies a few months ago,
God.
but that's a story for a different podcast. But that's what I think they're doing. It's good old fashioned cross promotion, and it benefits both sides. And like that's what they did with PWA because Delta's appearing in NXT. Delta cut this mad like that vignette they cut for her. That was awesome. And like she was always, one of my I regret a few things in life.
No watching Delta.
But I regret not seeing Delta wrestle here in Sydney because she's never going to do it again in a small arena.
I gotta say, I did. I was happy.
Yeah,
I couldn't take the picture though. I couldn't take the picture.
Yeah.
I was waiting all freaking out to go back, and she
But
didn't get out the freaking.
I think that's what's happening. I think it's cross promotion, and it's going to benefit both sides. And JBL he's a good businessman too. He's savvy.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to everybody. And the fact that and this is quite clearly, this would not have happened during the Vince era. Because if it was the Vince era, he just would have said, "Fuck it, I'm buying you." But no, now it's working smarter, man. It's like it's different times. It's like WWE is opening themselves up to other talent, to other promotions, to build other promotions. Because as I said, if you build the other promotions, if you build the wrestling business, then that makes WWE better.
But look, yeah, going back to part of TKO, they wouldn't have the problem with being part of TKO is they wouldn't be able to do that because they can't do that with UFC. The UFC can do nothing with WWE. What they could do is partnership. Hey, give me 20% of the company. I'll buy 20% of the company, and I give you all this.
But they don't need to. They don't need to do that.
But they could. But why not? Like you can't do that
But why
just
would
to
they? Why would they? Why would they buy into a company that's going to cost them money when they
because
can use that company anyway? Why? It's like why buy the book if you can go to the library and borrow it?
oh, fuck. Because it's much better to have it at home when you need it.
Is it? But you've already why? When you've got access to it all you want,
Who goes to
you
the
can take.
fucking library, bro? It's
Huh?
right. It's easy
That
to
was
buy
it's
it.
an analogy, man.
I know, but I'm saying it's easy to buy it. Like that's
Why?
what I'm thinking. Because it's easy to buy. You got it at home. You can buy it, read it whenever you want. Like if you want to read it, take longer. You don't have to worry about taking it back. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I
It's going back
disagree.
and forth.
I'm not saying you're wrong, but you're
But you're
wrong.
wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know. Look, it could be part of TKO. They could be buying part of the companies just to have a bit more pull in terms of what they do, because also can help them to like even make their shows better, which will help them to even
But
influence.
they do that anyway. They get that without buying the company. They get that without risking money, without any overheads.
But it's not risking money at the end of the day. They're not risking any money.
Those
Why are
small
they risking?
promotions don't make a lot of money. They're
Yeah,
risking money. If they buy them out, then
but
they
that's
pay
what I'm
to
saying.
put on all those
Probably
shows.
buy part of it, but not buy the whole thing. They don't need to. They don't need to make money. AAA, they're not going to lose money with that. They're not going to lose money with PWA,
But they don't need to buy AAA.
but they can have part of it. You know.
Why? They can already have that influence without buying them, without
Yeah,
spending a
it's
single
true.
cent.
It's true. But would you have the influence to take them? Hey, I want your
They're
big top star to
WWE.
come in.
They're WWE.
Yeah, but
They
it's
have
still.
the influence.
But they won't give in the top wrestlers to
The
come
only
in.
company that wouldn't give them a wrestler is AEW and what they're doing with Ray Phoenix.
Oh man, that's horrible. Don't even get me started on
Yeah,
the soapy stuff
yeah,
with what they're doing with the Lucha Bros, bro. That just
yeah, exactly.
fuck Tony Khan.
Yeah.
Oh my god, oh my god, that just pisses me off what he's doing with the Lucha Bros. If they're actually doing that,
Mm.
that's just fucked up because that's what the one thing he would say he would never do. Anyways, going a bit of attention right there.
And speaking
Look,
of AEW,
speaking of that, look, that's what's happening JBL. We'll see what happens, but I think yeah, we'll having your finger in every pie will work, but I think to do that, you'll be able to. You have to either be part of TKO or earn part of the company to be able to do that. To be able to have that pull to say, "Hey, I want you top wrestler." You can't say no. You know, you need to have that something to be able to pull that and grab that wrestler and say, "Like, bring it in. He's ready for our show."
but
You
they
know.
do have something. They're like, we will promote you on. We will send our wrestlers to your organization, and we will get eyes on your organization. Give us your best talent, and we will help you build another talent.
Probably, yeah, it could work, but I think being WWE, you want to have the reassurance of it's happening, not that it might happen. You know, because a lot of promotion can be like, yeah, 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 and they're like, nah, you know what? No, this is not working for me. Like what WWE have tried for for so many years. How many
Yeah,
years
and
is
then WWE will cut off that promotion entirely, and they're not going to get the eyes that they would have gotten if they worked with
but that's the thing.
WWE.
But WWE has been trying that for years. It hasn't worked.
But how many WWE fans even know about the existence of GCW, even know about the existence of MLW, even know
but that's the thing.
about Triple A?
WWE the fans they don't need to know. We're talking about the fans from those promotions are the ones that WWE is trying to get. For example, Mexico. They're trying to get the
Yeah, Mexico's a
Mexican
different
fans.
ball game.
But
Like
that's what
that's
I'm
a
saying.
different ball
I'm
game.
talking about the big ones, AAA,
Mm.
Japan. MLW, CGW, they benefit a lot. My point was more towards AAA, for example, or
Mm.
a promotion in New Japan, that's direct opposition to New Japan. You know, I'm talking about that. Those big companies on the big
Mm.
two countries, they need to get their hands on, because if you get your hands on in AAA, for example, earn part of the company, and then you earn part of I forgot what is the other company is big as New Japan over there, and you buy part of that company, as you got your hands on those two, bro, you don't need to do anything else because everyone's gonna come regardless. Because like fuck,
But those two big companies would not sell. They would not sell. They're
they don't need
making
to
money
sell,
where they are.
but they need to sell. They got part of it, and AAA wants to get into in United States. So we don't know. I don't know. It's just a lot of things can happen, but JBL is playing a big part, and probably will know sooner or later what's the fruits of that thing happening,
Mm.
which we've seen part of it a little bit with what we said. Talking about AEW, goddamn AEW is getting worse by the fucking day. Latest numbers of October 8th, 2024. 329 views, 329,000 views.
For what, a pay per view?
for a show. For a
Oh,
paper, it was 680, which is the fifth anniversary of Dynamite. Grand Slam 702,000.
1,000 views.
That is fucked up. Blood and Guts 786,000. So, and we're talking about from 2021 to when CM Punk left, literally, numbers were high. We're talking about up 880, topping up 950. Big numbers for AW. They got to a million views at some point with CM Punk in there, 100%. At the beginning, we got like CM Punk. So CM Punk comes in, a million views. One, two, three, four, five shows in a row. As soon as CM Punk comes in, it's straight
Yeah.
away. After that, we got 990, 1 million views, 997, 930, top 900s every single week, million views sometimes. You got a top 800s going all the way 900, 900, 900. CM Punk leaves on 3rd of September. Grand Slam gets 984,000 views. And after that, it's just downhill, mate. And the latest one, like NXT, triple the views of AEW, which is no longer a battle. We used to love that battle between NXT and AEW with Lorenzo a lot. It was awesome. It was like, who's going to get the biggest numbers? And it was a battle, head to head. AEW is first. AEW, NXT below NXT. But now, NXT is just absolutely exploding. Their talent they're bringing in is amazing. The show is getting better. A lot of help from like the main roster talent that's been coming in and do shows.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, and just what in empty seats in AEW, man. Continue seeing empty seats. What's the solution? I think they're going about the wrong way. Um, they got wrestlers that re-signed. What happening with the Lucha Bros? I think is bad if it's happening
If it's
because
happening, yeah, it is.
because wrestlers were able to leave whenever they want. Why
Mm.
you why especially with Ray Phoenix? Why are you extending his?
Mm.
You're not even using fucking Penta,
Mm.
bro, and you want to extend his contract just because the other person is injured. That's what they're saying about Ray Phoenix, dude. I think it's going wrong about the wrong way. Mercedes Monet is not getting the backing of the people. People just not liking her. Every time she's in, just drop the numbers. People can't stand her anymore. Like the boos are like boos, but they don't even pay attention to her anymore.
Mm.
It's like, and I said it before, she just lost whatever she had. She's not having that engagement with the people. Um, and the storylines are getting better in AW, 100%. They're
Mm.
getting better. We're getting better storylines, what's happening, but people just not engaging anymore. People lose faith on AEW, and that's a lot of have to deal with Hunter, the way they're doing with WWE. They just, it's way more interesting to see what happened with WWE. And it sucks because it's such a good talent in AEW.
Mm.
What are your thoughts, man? This dropping
Yeah,
numbers
look,
and
I don't watch a lot of AEW, and I don't want. Obviously, nobody wants it to fail because a healthy AEW is great for the wrestling business.
yeah,
If what's been coming out in the dirt sheets is true about the Lucha Brothers, then I think that's just bad form, and I think that might actually turn wrestlers off signing with AEW if he's gonna start doing that shit. Um, we don't know if it's true. Like stuff, three-quarters of the stuff they report on the dirt sheets is made up,
yeah,
or you know, he said, she said stuff, and then whisper after whisper after whisper, and then it gets changed. The message gets changed. So we don't know. But if it's true, then it's not good. It's bad form. Um, Again, the problem I have with AEW is just that I don't have a problem with the in-ring wrestling. Fantastic, love it. In-ring talent, mate. Really, they got some really top talent. It's just the lack of storylines and long-running storylines, and that's what wrestling's about, man.
mm,
Um, you got to have those storylines. You got to have wrestling's a soap opera, man. That's what it is. Essentially, it's a violent soap opera. Um,
yeah,
it's. I think I heard. I think Triple H described it. They've got a TV show about a sport,
mm,
and AEW is just the sport of professional wrestling. They need those storylines. And they've
yeah,
got people there, man. They've got Edge. Edge has got a brilliant wrestling brain. Chris
yeah.
Jericho's got a brilliant wrestling
Christian
brain.
Cage.
Christian Cage.
Christopher
Yeah, I
Daniels.
mean, yeah, exactly, Christopher. Exactly. Um, so I don't know. Like, I mean, they need producers. Like, get Bubba Ray in there, man. Get Bully Ray in there. Like,
Yeah.
he's some of his insight on, or a lot of his insight on Busted Open is just phenomenal. Like the way he sees the sport of wrestling. Like, get him in. Get him in. Um, we'll do something. And I know, rumor has it also that AEW signed a big deal now with Warner Brothers Television, and even in Mexico, Fox Sports Mexico has signed a deal to show AEW in Mexico. So they're still getting. In terms of like live audiences, that's not where they make the money. I know WWE have massive gates, but the money's made in pay per views and streaming and things like that. AEW still does the old fashioned model of pay per view. I don't even know. I don't know if that's the right way of doing it, but they don't have a network. They don't have Peacock, which is owned by NBC, showing all their stuff. So people have to fork out for pay per views, and when they're doing pay per view worthy matches on a weekly basis, then that takes away from the pay per views. Like we
100%.
said in the first part, when Moxley's bleeding every single week, well, when he bleeds in the pay per view, it's like, oh yeah, we've seen this before.
Yeah, he doesn't have the.
Um,
He loses the feeling of a pay per view.
yeah,
Like for example,
they
what
don't
about?
they don't slow cook. They don't
Nah.
slow cook.
But even
They
for
don't.
example, now the John Moxley with Daniel Bryanson,
Mm.
the building the story up, but people is just not engaging.
No.
People is like, we know where this is going.
Mm.
Like it's predictable. It's what the problem we used to have with WWE at when before you started watching it again. It was
Mm.
predictable. You couldn't fall in love with any storyline because you knew next week we were gonna mean shit.
Yeah.
You knew what's gonna happen. It's like Roman Reigns was gonna win as a heel again.
Mm.
Okay, what's the point of having the title match? He was gonna win. You knew he was gonna win. Like every single pay per view from Roman Reigns, at some point you knew he was gonna win. It was like, well, I'm watching this. I'm just
Yeah.
watching it because the other
Yeah.
matches are good, but you knew he was gonna win somehow. Like it was not unpredictable. It's not like I want to see what's gonna happen because I don't know what's gonna happen. And AEW is lacking on that part. Hopefully they fix it soon because the numbers keep dropping. But some of these big deals they can't drop, man, in a heartbeat.
Yeah, but you know what? He's got the money to back himself, and so that's why it's going to keep going. But
Yeah, but also like
they
when you
need to fix. They need to fix it, man. They need
yeah,
to fix it.
but when you got big companies
Otherwise,
behind
and
you,
I said this a long time ago on this podcast. Um, they're going down the same route that WCW took, and
yeah,
that look what happened at WCW. So they need to change that, man. They really do.
yeah, they definitely need to do it. But WCW had a lot more going for them, and I didn't know to start watching some stuff. To be honest,
Mm.
WCW was like they were really literally up just on the verge of destroying WWF at the time. But yeah, WWF did the smart thing and
Mm.
somehow turned it around. Vince time
Got
was
some
different,
attitude.
and not just that, WCW got too complacent, and that's what they killed them.
Yeah, and the
Complacency.
lunatics were running the asylum.
At some point, yeah, when they left that, and that's it. But yet, AW, let's hope this changes. Hope this getting better. People start getting more engaged. Let's make it unpredictable, man. Let's make it unpredictable. Don't make it predictable every week. Make it unpredictable and just having more of a soft matches than just hardcore matches every week because that's no need to, no need for it. But we all that. We getting to the end of this episode. Even the two of us, fucking yes, still ended up being two parts, bro. What the fuck?
Two parts, man. We got a lot. We had a lot. We hadn't done an episode in about a month,
Yeah,
so we had a
true.
lot to talk about.
True. A lot to talk about it. So anything to say before we go, man?
No, man, it's been good back on the airwaves. Toe to toe.
That's it.
Looking forward to doing more of the same. Renzo might pop in every now and then if we can sort out the time difference between here and the US.
Yeah.
Um, we don't have a Renzo. We don't have a Renzo verse anymore. But
He was meant to send it. So
he
hopefully,
was
but
meant to send his tube. He's a busy man, mate. He's a busy man. He's a man of the world. You know.
yeah, I know. I'll probably will put it as a separate portion of the podcast. We don't know. I'll
Yeah,
work it out with
yeah.
Renzo somehow, because that
But yeah,
cannot die the rest of us.
mm. Yeah, and no, just one thing, man. One thing that's finally looks like it's happening, and I'm I'm being a bit of a mark here. It looks like it's a new day for the new day, and I gotta say that does not make me unhappy. So I'm 100% Team Xavier Woods, man. He's my guy. Do it, man.
Getting
Do it.
the
Go your own way, mate. Listen to
that's it.
Carrion. Listen to Carrion.
That's it. Let's take Aaron Cross. And on top of that, next week we gotta talk about the Wyatt Six, man, because that promo the card man spent 2 hours going through all the
Yeah.
fucking files. God damn, it's beautiful. It was absolutely amazing.
And
The notes are taken
yeah,
away. We don't know who they're targeting because so many people turn into people that we don't know
yeah.
who they're targeting at the moment. It
Well, it
could be
looks like it
anyone.
might be the Miz, but you know,
Could be the Miz. It could be with Xavier Woods. It could be
mm,
KO. It could be
could
Randy
be. Yeah.
Orton. Randy Orton had
Mm,
had something very
yeah.
way. We don't know. So we got to talk
Yeah.
about it next week because it's a lot to dissect and that. And
And
hopefully we get a bit
that
more this week.
we will. We're not ignoring it, but we will get to the Vince McMahon Netflix series
Yes.
and our thoughts on that. That deserves a show of its own. So we will get to that
100%.
too in the not too distant future.
Yeah. And we're going to mix it with Behind the Bastards because
Yes,
that thing, god damn,
that should have been the series. That should have been
that
made
definitely
into a
should be the series. Yeah.
documentary
Oh my
series.
God. Yeah.
Because I saw like the meme I sent you today, like non wrestling fans watch the Vince McMahon documentary and say, "I can't believe he did all this creepy shit," and wrestling fans watch the Vince McMahon documentary and say, "Hey, what about all the other creepy shit?"
Yeah. What about the bad stuff? You just
Yeah,
talk
yeah,
about the not that
yeah,
bad. He still look
yeah,
good. What?
mm,
Why he wanted to
mm,
take the Doco out? Like
yeah,
he still looked good.
yeah,
He didn't look
yeah,
bad. Like he just looked good. But whatever. We've seen worse with it with Vince, and we know that. Behind the
mm.
Bastards. What's the other one? The one they do on SBS, the Chris Jericho. That's I forgot the other one.
Dark Side of the Ring.
The Dark Side of the Ring. Man, watch that. That's bad.
Mm.
That's bad. Like Doco series, not that bad. So with that, we get into the end of this epic episode. Remember to watch us on YouTube. We are on YouTube. We are on Spotify. It's a video podcast now, so you're gonna see our beautiful faces in the video podcast on Spotify and on YouTube. We'll try to keep up with more stuff. We're trying to get more content, but like sometimes we can't record. We can't do stuff. Life gets on the way.
Life gets in the way of wrestling, man.
Yeah, hospital gets in the way, bro. So many
Yeah,
things happen
yeah,
on the way, you know.
yeah.
So many things happen on the way. So with that saying, we'll see you guys next week. Goodbye.